Hello, and welcome to another episode of Lazarus Out Loud. We've been reading these Lucy books intermittently.
We've been reading these kid books, and they kind of a mini-series.
Yes, it's a mini-series of reading kids' books, and Phoenix is really into the Absolutely Lucy series by Ilene Cooper. It's about a boy who has a pet beagle named Lucy. This one is...
Well, Bobby, of course.
Oh, his name is Bobby. And this one is...
And she gets sick in this book, I think.
Oh, apparently Lucy's gonna get sick. Is she gonna eat the Thanksgiving food?
No, we'll have to find out.
Okay, so we'll see what happens in the Thanksgiving rendition thanks to Lucy. Okay. There are 9 chapters. Chapter 1, Bagels and Beagles. Clang, bang, Bobby Quinn sat up in bed. There's a picture. What was that noise? It was coming from the kitchen. Bobby looked at his clock. It was early. Lucy, his little beagle, was asleep at the foot of his bed. Lucy was supposed to stay in her own bed, but most nights she climbed in with Bobby. Lucy raised her head and gave a small howl. The small howl turned into a big yawn. She snuggled back down on the blanket. Lucy liked to sleep in on the weekends, just like Bobby. Crash! Bobby jumped out of the bed. What in the world was happening downstairs? In a flash, Lucy was on the floor and running right behind him. When they got to the kitchen, and Bobby's eyes grew wide. Usually when there was a mess in the house, it was because Lucy had gotten up to something or into something. This mess looked like it was all his mum's fault. A couple of cookie sheets were on the floor. So was a metal pie plate. A shiny lid, upside down, lay nearby. "Mum, what's going on?" Bobby asked. Mrs. Quinn's back was to him. "I'm trying to find the roaster," she mumbled. "The rooster?" Bobby asked, confused. "The roaster," she said a little more loudly, "for the Thanksgiving turkey." Then she pulled a few more pots and pans out of the overcrowded cabinets. Most of them fit on the counter and table, but a dented pan tumbled to the floor. "Why haven't I cleaned out these cabinets?" Mrs. Quinn moaned. "I should have thrown away half this stuff."
Do a good with from there.
Really? I feel like I'm rusty. Lucy began sniffing at the pie plate. She had a very good nose. Maybe she could still smell the apple pie Mrs. Quinn had made last week. Bobby's father came in through the back door. He seemed as surprised as Bobby when he saw the pots and pans on the floor. He looked at Lucy. No, Lucy couldn't have done all this. "Jane," Mr. Quinn said, clearing his throat, "I take it you didn't find the roaster?" Mrs. Quinn sat down on a kitchen chair. "No, I didn't find the roaster." Bobby glanced at Lucy. She was now pushing a pot lid across the floor with her paw. She seemed to think it was a new game. Bobby got Lucy's kibble and pulled...
Well, it's not a new game at all.
Bobby pulled some kibble into her bowl. It's not a new game, it's a mess. That would keep her busy. The last thing his mother needed was for Lucy to come up with a new, noisy game. "There's just so much to do," Mrs. Quinn said.
Brian and Ryan are coming over.
Oh, they are? We're gonna do one chapter at a time, so I'll pause the video when I finish the chapter, okay? Okay. "There's just so much to do," Mrs. Quinn said. She threw up her hands. "Thanksgiving is almost here. We have company coming. I have a project to finish at work. I haven't baked the pies yet. We've got to clean the whole house, and I don't know where the roaster is." There was a tremble in Mrs. Quinn's voice. Bobby and his father looked at each other. Uh-oh, was Mum having a meltdown? Mr. Quinn went to his wife and kissed her on the top of her head. "Don't worry, Jane. Bobby and I will help. We will make sure everything gets done." "Absolutely," said Bobby. Absolutely was his favorite word. It meant foreshore in big capital letters. Now his mother was smiling. Thanks. I should have known I could count on my 2 guys. Lucy will help too, Bobby said. Lucy heard her name. She looked up from her food and tilted her head. How am I supposed to help? She seemed to say. Lucy will help by staying out of trouble, Bobby said firmly.
The thing I'm worried about is when they get the office thing,
Oh.
they better shut the door.
Oh, I haven't read this book, so I don't know what happened. I know she messed up the nursery. Lucy will help by staying out of trouble, Bobby said firmly. Oh, that. Lucy went back to eating her food. Bobby and his parents laughed. I know you'll keep an eye on her, Mrs. Quinn said, and that's one less thing I have to worry about. Mr. Quinn put a brown paper bag on the counter. He liked to get fresh-baked bagels on the weekend. Then he poured coffee. Bobby got out the milk. Mrs. Quinn cut the bagels and found the butter and jam in the refrigerator. They sat down to breakfast. Who exactly is coming for Thanksgiving? Bobby asked. Mrs. Quinn counted on her fingers. The 3 of us, your Aunt Kay and Uncle John, Ryan and Brian, and, of course, Nancy Ann is coming in from Washington, D.C. 8. 8 didn't seem like that big of a number, but it would make for a full house. Bobby's aunt and uncle and cousins lived about an hour away. The families mostly got together for things like birthdays and holidays. His cousins, Ryan and Brian, were 12, and they were twins. They usually didn't pay much attention to Bobby. Nancy Ann was his mum's mother. His dad's parents lived in Florida. He wished he could see more of all of his grandparents. Bobby took a sip of his milk. Don't forget the Thanksgiving assembly. That's the day before Thanksgiving. He hoped his mother wouldn't think it was just one more thing she had to do. But Mrs. Quinn was smiling. Nanny and I will be coming to see you. She's looking forward to it. Mr. Quinn buttered his second bagel. Last time I heard, your class hadn't decided what you were going to do. We have to decide soon, Bobby said. Mrs. Lee said she is tired of pilgrims. Bobby hoped he wouldn't have a speaking part in the 3rd grade program. Bobby was shy. Not as shy as he used to be. He could even give a report in front of the whole class now without whispering and getting red in the face. Getting up on a stage, though, in front of half the school, that sounded awful. Lucy was finished with her breakfast. She knew what came next. Time for her walk.
Just a minute.
What?
It's a process.
What is? Thanksgiving or eating? Time for her walk.
Yeah,
Is that what he says to her?
No, I'm just saying, it's a process.
It is a process. Most things are a process.
Baby?
Okay. She stood by Bobby's chair, and she looked at him with her big brown eyes. Bobby got up. Well, Lucy, since you are so nice, let's go. He grabbed Lucy's leash from the hook by the door. Usually the leash made Lucy prance and howl. Today she sat quietly while Bobby hooked the leash to her collar. Maybe, he thought, keeping Lucy out of trouble isn't going to be so hard after all. And that was chapter 1. Chapter 2 is called Ideas. So we're going to pause there and we can upload this one so that they're not too long of videos. Thank you for listening and stay tuned to find out what happens next, and thanks to Lucy.